Hello, and hey Remy, waving
Hi,
at
hi,
you.
friend.
Um, yeah, if you're watching this, welcome to like a very special, I guess, edition of my DJ diary that I've been doing on Substack. We're going to be talking today about ArcTanGent and the set that I did with Remy for Should I Press Play at the Silent Disco, and sort of running through what we did, why we did it, and hopefully, if you're a DJ, you can learn from what we were doing, and we can give you some helpful tips and I guess give you a nice insight into how the set came about. Is probably the best way to put it. So yeah, we're gonna start with diving into Remy's set because Remy went first. And
I did.
yeah, I think let's set the scene, right? Because I think it's quite a cool, like, a good way to get going is we were on after John Connor, who shout out John Connor, they were sick and
They were awesome.
really lovely chaps as well. Like, great, great. Um, and we just, yeah, they did a Doom rave set for an hour on the Silent Disco, and then we were on the same channel after them. And yeah, they just played a bunch of cool remixy, dancey stuff and did some beats over the top and some had their own little strobe button, which was kind of cool. And then we were like straight into it, and I think that was probably a good way to like introduce what your ideas were and where you came about the set because it was sort of based off where we were going from a bit.
I thought you'd frozen for a second.
No,
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
I think something glitched out. What did you just say?
Um, yeah, I think we should. Um, so off the back of John Connor, when we were looking at what
Mm,
we were gonna do, we were aware that we had
yeah.
like a Doom Rave set beforehand. I think that influenced like where you went with the start of your set.
Yeah, I think it kind of it kind of fit very nicely into what I kind of had as a concept for my set. So even before I got on sorry, hello dog. Before I got on site, I really wanted to channel that, that rave scene in the Matrix where everyone's like really horny and just like, I really wanted to channel that. So I had in my mind that I was going to play all of these like cool, like heavy remixes of stuff. And then to know that I was going after John Connor as well, that it just made sense. The stars aligned.
It was
Um,
perfect.
but it was, and then obviously, with it being my first Arctangent as well, um, the lay of the land. You're like a celeb at Arctangent, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, which led to a lot of preparation for the set, coming in literally on site after seeing, who was here, what kind of stuff was going down really well. So yeah, I had to get Lena to hold my hand a lot of the time because I was like, "Will this work? Will this work? Is this the right
I really,
dog?
I really
Stop."
enjoyed like your mental journey over like 3 days because we got there on the
Yeah.
Wednesday, and you were like quite. I think the Wednesday you were fine, but there was that you had like a niggle in the back of your head, like I still need to like work on my set, and like
Mm,
watching that go from like stress and then having like a day at the festival to like bed in and be like, oh, I get it now as well.
mm,
And then we woke up like I want to say Thursday morning, and you were like, you got your laptop out, and you were like, I've got ideas, let's go. Like, um, I mean, it was a lot of asking me if things would go down well, but most of it was just me being like, well, yeah, that's gonna go great, right? Like,
well, this is the thing. Like, that's the beauty of Arctangent, I think, is that like because it's such a niche demographic and everyone's in such weird music, you can get away with not only weirder tracks, but maybe dare I say stuff that people don't know, but they'll still be like engaged with it. are willing to give it a chance, because like that's just the kind of people that go to that festival. So like learning that was like I had to put a lot of trust in that audience, but like it did work. And you can't
They pay you
often.
back though. They pay you back, the
Yeah,
audience at Tangent. Like if you like treat them with respect, I think is the way to like put it, is like you go, okay, like I know what you like, and like I like the same stuff, so like let's hang out and play some songs and hang out and have really good loads of fun listening to these songs. But also I'm gonna chuck in a couple that maybe you don't know, but they'll get behind it because they know that you've got that like they know you know what you're doing. They know they like the songs you have been playing, so they'll probably like commit.
yeah, like building that trust with that audience was like, yeah, an interesting experience, because like I'm so used to audiences being very fickle in clubs. So
Yes.
like we'll be at a festival full of people who I remember you saying this to me. You were like, "You are them, they are you. You're the same people." And I was like, "Okay, like, are you sure? Don't really believe you, but it turned out to be true." So
Yeah, I think that's I always talk about like trees and ArcTanGent being my favorites, and it's because like I'm the crowd. Like I would be there anyway. I've been as a like a punter, like so me, yeah, coming in and doing a DJ set to people that I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure that you're gonna like a lot of the same music as me, and a lot of and like as open to new music as I am, because you're willing to go to this stupid little niche festival where you turn around the corner and there's a jazz band playing, you go around the other corner and there's a metal band playing, and people are just up for it. So like, yeah, it's so the crowd they've got this so good. Um,
everyone was so nice. Like I said, it was my first time being there, and I was just like overwhelmed by how lovely everyone was. Everyone was really respectful. Like there was like barely any litter. Like weird, but like
yeah, yeah,
so
it's
so
so different.
yeah. Um, so yeah, I think being in that environment and being like, oh, like it's like seeing what t-shirts people were wearing and stuff like that was like, oh, okay, I know I can definitely get away with such and such a band. I can get away with this. So like that coloured my final set like to a huge degree, I think.
I think
And I
this.
remember, sorry, go on.
So I was just going to say that I think this like leads me on to something which I know you always like take the piss out of me always camping at festivals, because like why would I not want to stay at an Airbnb? But like what I think I gain from that is what you've just talked about, of like being in with the audience. You get I always feel like you can get something from that. When it comes to the download, like I totally understand like people that don't want to stay on site. It's awful, but like when it comes to like things like art tangent and trees, I'm like I want to be camp. When I'm at trees, I camp in general because I like being around the crowd and talking to people and finding out things, and like I think it's one of those things that isn't talked enough about DJing, and there's a lot of people that will show up to those festivals, especially I won't name names. There was a couple at Art Tangent, no, at Trees this year who very clearly like just showed up, had never been before, did their set and left, and it was like they didn't quite get it. And I think that's the joy of like having Art Tangent and Trees and like being in it and engaging with people, is you understand so much more what the festival's about.
I think like maybe not everyone's got the luxury of doing that, but like it
Yeah,
was certainly
obviously.
very, very helpful for me. But you
Um,
can't make me camp a download. I won't do it.
refuse.
I,
Um,
I just won't.
should we jump into like a bit of your set list? Do you want to talk? Should we talk about the
Yeah.
intro? Because I
Yes. Well,
fucking I love the intro of your set. It's one of my. You are like, listen to this, and put, I love anything that puts like a massive smile on my face, and it did that.
yeah. Like, well, this is the thing. So I was asking you like what I should begin with, and you were like, it should set the tone of your set. Like, it should kind of tell people what they're going to be in for. 'Cause you said that like if you've got people at the beginning, they'll stick on your channel. So I was like, okay, because I'm so used to, again, like, I guess maybe this is a symptom of younger crowds, but like people being quite fickle, especially on a silent disco environment. Like, just, you could lose them all at any one point. And I don't think ArcTanGent was, for the most part of the night, like, it wasn't like that. But anyway, I digress. So I was like, obviously aware that we were switching over from one channel being John Connor to, I think was it 5 channels? In the end, there was us, there was another
Four.
day, 4, and then there was some random dancey stuff, and there was
Oh,
the
five. Yeah, no, there was five.
yeah. So I was like, I want to make sure that people are like, the interest is peaked, but like, there isn't any like, I haven't blown my load before everyone's like locked into my channel. So I had this idea of having a drone and a countdown, because I was thinking that'll make people like, they won't miss anything by missing any of the numbers, but they'll be like, oh, there's something on this channel. And then my first track that I chose was Carpenter Brute, and I was trying to think of how I could kind of bridge that gap. So I was listening to the very beginning of Roller Mobster, and I was just like, that's in the same key as the PS1 startup noise, because that's how my brain works. So that's how that came about. I was just like, that's going to be brilliant, because everybody at this festival knows what that sounds like. It's such a little pang of nostalgia, and then it works perfectly into what I was going to be playing next. So it was just everything fell into place and it worked. Like, I love it when that happens. I love it when a plan comes together,
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, I can't remember. Like, there was a lot of chatting in camp about it, and I remember you playing it. I was like, yeah, this is golden.
Yeah.
This
And
is
then when I played
golden.
it live and I heard that ripple of people going, oh, and that's the most magical sound,
It's
when
like
you
manna
hear a
from
room of
heaven.
people have that recognition. Yeah, it's brilliant. So yeah, that made, gave me faith that I was on the right track. But yeah, when I was like at camp, like trying to put this set together, I actually have, this is the literal
Oh, you
like
brought the
list I'm
notes.
using. Uh,
You brought the notes.
yeah, I brought the notes. I've got receipts. Mainly because I was trying to make sure that I didn't go over my time or under my time. So I was like writing down like how many minutes I was going through, because obviously like some of these tracks I wasn't playing the whole track, so I had to make sure that everything's fitting in. When I did this at download, I actually made a spreadsheet of how much time I'd elapsed. So yeah, it was a lot of that was doing that. And sometimes obviously at festivals, like, you might be under or over, so you have got to have a bit of flexibility. Like when we played at download this year, I had like a little roster of songs that didn't need to be mixed. They could just be played outright at the end, just in case they needed extra time. And it turned out they did, because it was just before the Boston Manor acoustic set. But anyway, yeah, I've put together a big list of artists I wanted to play, and like I was trying to find cool remixes of them and stuff. So I had like the list was like Aphex Twin, Korn, Chemical Brothers, Schmode, Prodigy, the Black Queen, Nine Inch Nails, like loads of stuff like that. And then because Luna's taught me how to use Serato Studio now, sometimes I'd be like, well, this isn't doing what I want it to do, so I'm just going to whack it into Serato Studio and like make the version that I want and need, so that I can do what I want with this mix.
Yeah,
And I hope you're proud of me.
let's talk about edits, because I think we both use them like differently.
Mm,
Like, I think whilst we were both at ArcTangent, we both made edits of Humans is Such Easy Prey by Perturbator.
yes. Mhm.
And we did two very different things with it. Now, I really love that song because the outro of it speeds up from 120 to 174 BPM. So for me, going from that into some drum and bass is great. But for you, it's different.
Yeah, for me, I needed it to keep in that kind of realm of BPM because I was going to mix it into a remix of Aphex Twin of Window Looker. So I actually chopped it up so it just had an extended like fall to the floor outro rather than going crazy at the end. So maybe, yeah, there were two different versions of that song, I guess, but two very different applications.
Yeah, I think that's what's really good about learning how to use something like Serato Studio for edits is like you can change a song to use it however you want to use it.
Yeah, I found that really helpful, especially when like for me it's the challenge is often changing key. So it meant that I could just like keep the drum beat going, so there was still some element of that other song going, but I could bring something in. So like the key change wasn't going to be matching or anything, because there's nothing worse than two songs playing at the same time and they're not in key. We all know.
My pet peeve.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, what you went Carpenter Brute, Perturbator, and
Mm.
then where do we
I
end
did
up?
Carpenter Brute, Perturbator, Aphex Twin, Corn, really amazing remix of Hey Boy Hey Girl by Art Bats
Yes.
of Chemical Brothers into that Depeche Mode thing, which is something that I came across like ages ago. That was very early on in like planning for this set. And I remember like trialing it. I was like doing sound checks for one of my sound engineering jobs and playing it out on this sound system, and like it sounded really amazing. And then one of my colleagues like came in and just went, "Oh, this is a bit funky, isn't it?" And I was just like, "Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah." Yeah, so like it was all that kind of stuff. I had like remixes of things like um Bodies, and what else did I have? Psychosocial, Open Play. Oh, one of the things I did have shortlisted and I didn't end up playing was This Shit Will Fuck You Up by Combi Christ. Um,
Oh,
yeah, I didn't end up playing
yeah.
that in the end. A really amazing thing of remix of Deftones. That actually, it was Changing the House of Flies, and it actually goes into just a straight up song for a little while and then goes back into this remix, which is amazing.
I've got
And
a
then
question. I've got a question for you. Because
shoot,
I don't know the answer to this. Because while we
mm,
were at ArcTanGent, you were looking for some of these remixes, and I was wondering where you find them.
oh, the internet.
Just the internet. I
Just
don't
the
know if you use
internet.
a specific site or whatever, but
Well, it's just wherever they turn up. So it's it because these songs are so, these are not songs that, I might think of a song that I want to play and I want to play a remix of it, and I'll search for it because it might not exist. It might not have been remixed at all. Um, but if I'm lucky, there might be a few versions of it. So it's quite often a case of typing in a band name and like house remix into Google and seeing what throws up. Like sometimes it'll be like SoundCloud or like Bandcamp. Sometimes it might be YouTube, but like I don't endorse downloading things off YouTube generally unless you can find make sure that the kilobytes per second are very, very good, because otherwise they will sound like ass, especially on a festival sound system. Yeah. And also,
you're
especially considering, sorry, go on.
no, you go, you go.
I was just going to say, uh, Silent Disco King had really upgraded their headphones this year. That was something I noticed across all of ArcTanGent, was that everything sounded amazing.
Oh
And
God, yeah.
yeah, the Silent Disco headphones were so good. They fit really snugly, because sometimes like you can get like the signal will be rubbish and it'll keep cutting out. They can be distorted, but these were like
Yeah, no,
absolutely pristine sound.
I like them more than the old ones because they just squeezed on my head a bit more, so I could dance harder. I had such a problem of
Yeah.
dancing too hard and my headphones going like flying off, and then like I'm just dancing to silence.
Do you know what? I hadn't even thought of that as a challenge of Silent Disco headphones, that people want to headbang
Yeah,
or just move around in general.
I mean,
Hmm.
you know how my dancing is when I'm on stage. So like I think
Yeah.
it's not an everybody problem, but for like us that like to have a good wiggle, like yeah.
I mean, I managed to headbang mine off a couple of times, but that's because I had like my headphones. I basically had like two sets of headphones on my head at one time because I had to have what I was listening to and then what everyone else was listening to.
Yeah. Um, the Bodies remix you did, that was a combination of two remixes,
It
was it not?
was, yeah, I
Yeah.
Frankensteined one together because I liked the intro of one and then I cut it into another one, but they were in the same key, so it's fine.
Yeah. I mean
I
that's
forgot about that.
again the joy of edits to
Yeah,
make it like I really like the build up of this, but the drop sucks, or vice versa, and you can just stitch two things together sometimes.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's something that I probably could have done live, but like it would have been a faff. So like,
Yeah,
if I could make it easier for myself, then why not? Um,
so real.
yeah. There was also things that I wasn't necessarily like remixing, but like I say, extending. Like I played the original version of Edge Crusher by Fear Factory, and it wasn't a remix or anything, but like I just wanted um again that drum loop at the end so I could mix it into something else. So like that, it just gives you that extra level of flexibility, which is so it just elevates your set, doesn't it? Especially for a festival crowd. Like
Yeah,
it
keep
makes it seem more considered.
keeping the flow going is, I think, especially when you're trying to keep people's attention and they've got all these other options, like
Mm,
keeping the flow going is so important in that sort of environment, I think. Like, especially like, I mean, even when you get down to doing club sets, I think it's something that can really grasp an audience. But then when you're competing against two or three or maybe other channels, like you want to keep people engaged like that, and having the flow was really nice. And I think that's what really worked for you, was like you had the flow for sort of the first half of your set, and then you played a bunch of stuff that you really liked that they also really liked, which was less mixed
yeah,
together, but were just bangers for the festival. So
yeah,
you won them over with the crazy, cool, really like interesting DJ stuff, and then you went, I'm a fan. Here's a bunch of songs that I really like. So
yeah. Basically, well, I was just basically like, I just want to be like, hey, look, I can actually DJ. I know what I'm doing. Look at all this crazy stuff. But also like, I just want to listen to a Mastodon track. Like what else did I play? Oh, I played Converge.
you
I was just
did, yeah.
like, everyone's gonna go for Converge. Like, there's no
I
way
mean,
to remix this.
it's really hard, I think, to explain to, I guess, people that haven't been to ArcTanGent, like why it's totally okay to play Converge, but or who even Converge are. But like, yeah, I think that's the joy. That's what I love about it so much is you can go, ah, it's just a song, a really nerdy song that I really like by a band that plays this festival, even though it's like this tiny little festival. But then everyone there just gets behind it. Like Mastodon got huge reception.
It really did. Yeah. Well, I was just having a look at my list. So I played Health, Tool, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna play Strapping Young Lad, and you didn't even know who that was. Sorry
Yeah.
to out you.
Oh
And I
no,
was like,
out me
Toby Devin
away.
Townsend's band. And you were like, oh yeah, that'll go down. And it did. Yeah, I played Mastodon, played Dillinger, and I played Converge. And then I think I ended on like One Arm Scissor or something. So yeah.
Um, Welcome Home by Coheed you ended on.
That was it. That was my last track. Yeah.
We had a You had a yap, and we were on stage. You're like, I'm gonna play this because it's got a nice long fade out, and we can go into yeah.
Exactly.
What would you say was the highlight of your set? And I'll tell you what mine was of your set.
Ooh. Uh, it's hard to say because I was so locked in, so in the zone for a lot of it because it was a lot of mixing. Um, I have to say, like hearing everyone, like right at the beginning before it even started mixing, just hearing everyone go to the PlayStation noise was like quite, quite incredible. I did like hearing everyone singing along to um, Milk Lizard.
Yeah.
Um, that was really cool. But yeah, the rest of it, like the dancey stuff, I was just like, I was so like, I had to concentrate on what I'm doing so I don't miss my cues. So I didn't have much time to be like, oh, what's going on, you know? But you
I
tell
had
me.
so much fun. Like, I mean, like the second half of your set was great because, like, obviously it was playing cool artists like ArcTanGent, but I really loved the first half of your set because, like, it was, yeah, I like dancey stuff. I like things being mixed together nicely, and it was a lot of that. I think the Nine Inch Nails Hand That Feeds remix was phenomenal. I enjoyed the hell out of that. And I mean, I got really, I'm not great at mic work, and I got really into it, and therefore was just on the mic, just having fun. Which, yeah, I think because I was having so much fun during what you were playing, I stopped worrying about being on the mic and being an idiot. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna chat shit, people. It's great.
That was so refreshing for me because like normally I've got to be my own hype person. And
Yeah,
like I was so like I said, I was concentrating so much. So it was really nice to have you like peer over my shoulder and then be like, oh everyone, we ready for a bit of this? And then like to prime everyone for what they were about to hear, but like in a completely different way.
yeah, yeah. I had some calling you a superstar DJ during Hey Boy, Hey Girl. Um,
That's the third gender.
it is the third gender. Um, but yeah, the Breathe Prodigy remix that you played
Mm,
was like because I
really
thought it
quite
was
well.
going one way and then it went a different way and I really because again I hadn't heard I obviously knew a lot of the songs the originals but like some of the remixes you played I'd never heard before. It was like really fun to like experience that for the first time live on stage performing with you like and try to like figure out what was going on. And it's sort of it made me realize like how much of a fucking pain it must be to be on the mic when like during like my download set and stuff. Because
Mm.
I was like, I don't know what's coming. I don't know what to prep people for. I can kind of work it out. I can kind of guess. But then yeah, just bit of chaos.
It's all right. I'm fine at freestyling. You just be like,
Freestyle.
it's nice. Woo! You know what to do. Circle pit. You know, it's fine. Get the people hyped. That's all you need to do.
Is there are there any songs in like hindsight that you'd wish you'd thought of to play? I think is an interesting question.
No, actually, I think I was really happy with what I played eventually.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm kind of to the point where I'm like, I don't know how I can top this. I think
You'd
the
have
only
to go
thing I might,
harder next year.
yes, true. I think the only thing I might have changed was that I had a remix of Break Stuff, which I'd found I didn't make it, and some of the phrasing was a little bit off.
Yeah.
I didn't quite realise at the time, and I was like, oh, it's making it really difficult for everyone to sing along to. So I might have to try and find some way of
I
like
think
fixing that.
I remember listening back to it. I didn't really notice as much in the moment. I think it's literally the first verse on that remix was
Mhm.
just like a
It's
phase
like
out of
half a beat
sync.
in the wrong direction, I think.
Yeah.
But like,
And I
yeah.
didn't again, yeah, I didn't even notice until I listened back to it on Mixcloud and I was like, oh,
Mm.
yeah. Like, but it was literally it was the first thing. But like
Yeah.
there's always more remixes of Brave stuff.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there are. So I'm sure there is no end of them. But yeah, I mean, yeah, hopefully we get invited back next year, and I can expand on what I've put down here and go a little bit weirder, maybe. I don't know.
I like
Goodness.
I think you could go with it. I think you could go with it.
And
Like
maybe, you know, I'll learn how
hornier.
to, yeah, hornier, make things myself, so I can make, remixes of whatever I want, which would be cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
fingers crossed. Because
Fingers
please,
crossed.
James, next
Book
year.
us again out tangent, please. We were really good. Everyone liked us.
Yeah.
Let us back, please. Um, yeah. Is there anything else from your set you wanted to, I guess, talk about?
Uh, really, I don't think it was just it was just cool. It was like one of the most chill festival sets I've ever done. I think in the sense of like yeah, I just felt like I could trust everyone. Like everyone was just. I didn't think that anyone was going to. Sometimes you can get people who like don't like what you're playing and then will make it clear to you that they don't like what you're playing. But like everyone was really respectful, so that was really really nice. Would go again.
Yeah, I think it's like when you have I this is why I thought you would smash it beforehand, is because like all Art Tangent people at Art Tangent seem to look for, at least in my humble opinion, is like some something genuine with what you're doing. And like they like all sorts of music from yeah, jazz to metal to whatever, but it's all stuff they love because of the heart that goes into it, and that's what keeps that festival going. So I think if you turn up with your heart and like who you are, wear who you are on your sleeve in a set, they'll recognize that and get behind it.
I think that's definitely what I did. This is like the most me set I've ever done. I think.
Yeah, I think that's what I said afterwards. I was like, yeah, that was like I feel like it's the first time I've seen you DJ without a filter and not having
Mm,
to like I mean, you know, it's DJing without a filter is something that very rarely happens for a lot of DJs, really. Um, I mean, like even I'm really silly, and even me, I've got, you know, I think I double guess myself. I'll like not push the boat out as far when I'm doing a new gig. But then, yeah, when I'm at Trees Art Tangent, I feel like I can just send it, and they'll just be like, cool, yeah, I'm on board. Um, cool. Should we move on to the second half of the set?
I was going to say, do you want to talk about you for a bit?
Yeah, let's talk about my bloody nonsense.
It was bloody nonsense, but it was bloody great. Like,
My
what did you start your set with? I can't
I s-
remember.
so I started with my remix of In Heresy by
That
HoloKit.
was it. Of
So
course. What a great
um
band.
what a great band. Um so for those who don't know, I don't know, do you want Remy's husband is in a very good band and takes wonderful videos. And was at the
We did
festival
our
with
Up
us.
Tangent one.
To
Yeah.
yeah, if you go on our socials, you can check out the video. That's really cool that he did. But yeah, he's also a really talented singer in a really cool band that I did a remix for, which we put out maybe a month or two ago. Available on all streaming platforms. Boom, boom, boom. Go stream it. But I sort of have had the idea for a little while of like what's really cool about Tangent is the live element and like people really get behind that and wanting to do have a live element to what I was doing as part of a DJ set. So yeah, this year I was supposed to have Zach from El Muno come and perform a remix live on the Thursday. No, on the Friday. That didn't happen. It was his birthday. We let him off. But on the Saturday, I had James on stage, and I was like, "Cool, let's do um, this." I feel really bad because I kind of like sprung it on him really last minute. I like messaged it. It was like it was like the Saturday or Sunday before, and I was just like, "Yeah, do you think this is a good idea? Should we try it?" And he was like, "Yeah, that'd be really cool." And then I don't know how much practice occurred or prep occurred from James's side, but I just sort of like, I've got an instrumental. I'll just play it and we'll see what happens. Um, but yeah, that was really cool. It's the first time I've ever done something like that, and I feel like it went down very well. I was too busy focusing to really notice. You probably got
It
a
was
better
it was
idea.
it was a very like cool like I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that before. Like have have a guest vocalist on a DJ set like that, you know. It's
And
something
yeah,
a bit cool
I've
and
seen how
interesting, isn't it?
the DJs do it at Download, not this year, the year before. They brought Imogen from
Mm.
Ugly Club on to do Evanescence, I think,
Oh nice.
which was really cool. But yeah, I really like it as an idea, and it's so because I do a lot of like mashups and a lot of layering vocals over the top of other songs, and I'm starting to think how fun it would be to, rather than having a third track running with the vocals on it over the top of what I'm doing, having someone singing that instead would be really awesome. So that's doing that was sort of my trial run, I guess, um, for I guess kind of where I want to go artistic wise as a DJ. Um, so yeah, I think it went quite well, and at least on the technical side of things, it went quite well. So
Mm.
it should be doable for the future for me, which is kind of exciting. Um, and yeah, I feel a bit bad for spraying it on James, but also I think it a little bit helped because he didn't have time to get stressed about it.
Yeah, he might have stewed about it otherwise.
Yeah, bless him. Like he finished, I was like, "You're right." He's like, "I'm shaking." That's like it's
No.
fine. But yeah, it was cool. It was really fun. And yeah, we went from that to straight into the stupid mashups, obviously. So yeah, we did that, and then I went into a mashup of Numb Encore by Linkin Park and Jay-Z and GOAT by Polyphia, which you pulled a very like just outraged face at me when it started.
Well, I was just, it wasn't outrage. It was just like, well, maybe outrage at like, who does she think she is? Going this hard, this soon? Like, I'm constantly in awe of like, you were like, oh yeah, we're going to take this and this. Like, and then even sometimes the two things are a bit what the fuck, and then you put them together and it's like, oh, this. It's like when you have two foods that shouldn't go together, but you put them together and it's like, oh,
And
this is amazing.
yeah, I'll
Your
take that.
pineapple on pizza, babe.
Oh, don't call me pineapple. I'm personally offended by that. Uh,
Pineapple on pizza.
I don't, but I don't think fruit and pizza belong together, but I do think that Polyphia and Linkin Park do. So you win some, you lose some.
Yeah,
I actually made this mashup like maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. Um, and
really.
yeah, I can't remember when, honestly. Oh wait, is it gonna be on my thing? Uh, no. I was gonna see if I had the have had the date I created it on, but no. But yeah, it's an old one. And I've wanted to play Art Tangent for a while, but I always chicken out. Um, I quite like. I have a bit of a tradition of doing stupid things with Numb by Linkin Park at ArcTanGent. The first year I did it, I just opened my set with a mashup of Numb and Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol. Yeah, and so I like to keep the tradition out. And then, yeah, some of the motivation for playing that was it goes really nicely into Sorry Not a Winner by Shikari, same BPM. Because I was someone in the like Art Tangent Facebook group specifically requested the quickfire round. So like for context, and Shikari played 2000 Trees in 2018, and during their headline set, they did a quickfire round, which was Sorry Not a Winner, Snake Pit, Meltdown, the Jester. And then I made a version of that for my DJ sets, and I just play it every year at 2000 Trees, and it always just goes huge. But yeah, had someone ask for that for Art Tangent, but I played a slightly new version, which had a new remix of Meltdown and my own remix of the Jester, which was like the first time I'd played it to people, which was really cool. Um, and also meant I could go into the drum and bass, um, as I
So
wanted to do.
it was a quick fire with a remix with one of your remixes with,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that's how you make a memorable DJ set.
Do something different. Yeah, and then from that I did a remix of Bulls on Parade, which I think like safe bet for that crowd. And then did a really, really stupid remix I've got of Blackout by Turnstile, which like I originally made 4 trees, but I was like, this is the right vibe. But it's really good because obviously the intro is at 170, 174 drum bass, and then at the end it goes to the original song, which has a breakdown which is at like 140 BPM right at the end, which means I love to mix every song into the next. So when you have songs that change BPM halfway through, it's really a fun way to transition. Um, and so at that point, I decided, what's at 140 BPM? I know We Like to Party by the Venga Boys. And I have such a like vivid memory of you like looking at me, like you were like stood at the front of the stage as I was mixing in, and you just like turned and looked at me and were like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Is
that's the
that the
reaction
same?
I live for.
Was that the one that it's that moment might even be in our video that James did, where you're just like hopping around, and then it just cuts to a shot of me going,
Yeah, I I love that. Just yeah.
"Why
But
not?"
then yeah, the next bit was actually inspired by you because at Download you played a remix of Bad Omens that I was like, this is sick, and I was like, what is it? And then you were like, oh, if you play it out of tangent, I'm gonna lose my shit. And I was like, wow, I'm not only gonna play it, I'm gonna do Deftones and then mix it into it. Just do some Remy tunes. Um, and yeah, that I mean that part of the set is almost like doing We Like to Party into Smack My Bitch Up is ripped straight from the download set we did 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And then just built on the top of that. I've got a really, I then did We Got the Moves by Electric Callboy, which is just Metal Banger Boys, for those that don't know. But I really love that song because at the end it's just got like a four to the floor beat that you can just loop. And I really enjoy looping it and then slowly just cranking up the BPM up back up to drum and bass speed and mixing to something else. So that's always really fun. Um, yeah. So yeah, I mean the next bit was is like if you've ever seen me DJ, you've probably seen me do this mix, which is like all the things she said by Poppy, One Step Closer Linkin Park, Kingslayer, and then Voodoo People, and then a remix of When the Sun Goes Down by Arctic Monkeys. Like that's like a staple me mix. And like in the moment, like I didn't plan my set as much as you. I was like thinking I want to because obviously it was a Chile press play set. I was like, I want to do some of like the best bits from Chile press play sets that I've done before. Maybe just throw in a few random bits and like a couple of requests. But yeah, I love that mix. That like sequence of songs is like such like a if I'm in a jam in an emo club, like I will just crack that out because you can't miss. Like people, it's
Yeah.
different and people get behind it. Like it's a bit of the old, it's a bit of the new, it's a bit of like pop music, but it's rock music. Hits all the buttons, so I really love that. Um, and then I think by this point we'd had a little bit of tequila, just like a small
Maybe
amount of
it's
tequila,
a
because
snifter.
I very much remember being on the mic and just declaring, "Look, right, guys, this is the gay bit now." Um, and
Was
then
that
I
not the
play it.
whole bit? The second we
I
stepped on
mean,
stage was the gay bit.
I know, but I was just like, this is the extra gay bit. And did my really stupid hot to go mashup with Taking Back Sunday. Um, and then I'm pretty sure, um, yeah, I did Scotty Doesn't Know and Stacey's Mum, which like I am determined to make both those songs gay anthems. Um, Personally, I feel like Scotty Doesn't Know is a lesbian anthem of the time. And Stacey's Mum is about how me as a trans woman would probably sleep with your mother. Um, so I love both. I love a hobby. I've got a little hobby of finding straight white dude songs and making them gay by just interpreting them differently. So like yeah, we go. I'm always gonna play those. And Stacey's Mum is like it's such a cheesy tune, but it like never misses really. People will like by that point of the night, like we're talking now, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. everyone's reasonably pissed. They're about ready for a Stacey's mum. Last night at the festival, that was the other thing when I was doing my set. It's like it's the last night. On the other channel, we had ArcTanGent who were doing a bit more niche stuff. And I was like, I just want to do hits for my sort of section. Um, and yeah, did Stacey's Mum, and then I've got a really lovely mix, which is Stacey's Mum, Black Sheep by Metric. Again, another like I will never not play that song. Such a Lu Luna song. We'll
It
just
is.
go
It's
there.
your anthem, isn't it?
Supermassive Black Hole by Muse, which is a really fun mix actually, because one of the reasons that I still take my controller to places is I can do live stem separation on it. So I do it with Black Sheep where I take all the instrumental out and then loop and play the intro to uh, Supermassive Black Hole underneath the second verse, and I love it. I think it's one of my best personally. I might be wrong. Um, yeah. And yeah, like I said, I wanted to do hits. So yeah, one more time, Daft Punk, Insomnia by Faithless, which again, like, I don't really think it really matters where you're DJing. Like that song will probably go off. Like
It's a classic. It is a
it's a
classic. And what I was going to say was like, what I also liked about the very end of your set was like, you knew your place in that, like, it was the end of the festival, it was the end of the night. And also it was kind of a nice sort of change of pace after what I'd done, which was quite serious. And then you were like, fuck it, let's just play pop music, but in a way that you will like.
Yeah, let's just have fun. Yeah, and that's like definitely what the next section was, which was like
Mm.
I played Call Me Maybe mashed up with Tsunami, and then a mashup called Seven Nation Guest, which is Seven Nation Army and Guest by Charlie XCX, which is just it's just like like whenever I'm DJing, I want to be having the most fun possible, and like hopefully that means that everyone else is having the most fun possible is kind of the idea. So
Well,
yeah,
I've always taken that on board, that like you were saying that like if you're having fun, you're setting the tone for the audience and they will have fun.
yeah, yeah. I think like when I started DJing in like my old residency, like the old DJ used to just stand there like stoically and not
Mm.
even like mouth along to the songs. You know what I mean? And I'm just like
Mm.
as much as I'm like, yeah, you should be having fun during your set, it convinces people, blah blah blah. Like it is just genuine when I'm doing it. Like I am just having lots of fun. Like I'm not pretending. Like I'm just having the time of my life.
Yeah.
And I think yeah, there's a certain portion of DJs that like try too hard to have fun and are just like putting it on. And then there's a
Mm.
subsession that just like don't care and just like think they're too cool to have fun, I think maybe. And I'm like, I'm not too cool to make a tit out of myself. I don't care. I'm having fun. I got my silly little dances and my silly little kicks and my silly little jumps, you know.
I love them.
Um, and then yeah, I did some stuff from this year's download set actually, which was
Mm.
I played my remix of Emergence by Sleep Token, which like yeah, kind of the vibe, but still poppy. A remix of Can You Feel My Heart, and then went into Enter Sandman, which like remix of that, it's going to go down at any rock festival. Um, and then we did um, the Island Part One into Counting Worms by Not Loose, which was really funny because I play the first half of it is like just pendulum, and then it loops the beat, and I was like, does anyone like? It's going to sound like a really weird question right now, but does anyone here like Not Loose? And it is a really weird question when you've got like an EDM beat going, but that one again was from Download 2024 when we did the Dugouts. I played that, and it's just
Mm.
I love the sort of surprise of it when people they slowly realize what it is.
Well, I
Um,
think that's a hallmark of your sets. I think that like people like they're constantly like they never get a chance to like settle into something because there's always something different around the corner, and it might not even be the same genre. It's just but they know that they'll enjoy it. So
I
It's
hope so.
quite a talent.
I think people like, I'm sure there are plenty of people that want to listen to the whole song, but that's just not. I mean, I did play the whole of Counting Worms, but it is only a minute.
It's like, yeah.
Um, and yeah, I guess the point we're up to in the set now is a really good chance to talk about technical issues.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm, I'm so used to like watching YouTube videos now where it's like, and now for a word from our sponsors.
Now for a word from our
NordVPN or
sponsors.
whatever.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, yes, so we had some, well, I had some technical issues. I still do not understand what was happening. Um,
Mm,
I've used my decks a lot since then and they've been fine, so whatever. But basically, effectively, what was happening was my controller was disconnecting from the software every time I touched it and then reconnecting. I don't know, it was very strange. But it happened in the middle of a three deck mix that I was doing, and you're on the mic hyping it up, being like, "This is going to be so cool," and it's just like my laptop crashing.
yeah. I
um,
mean, happens to the best of us, doesn't it? Do you know
yeah,
what I've just realised it might have been? Is that because you had all of your stuff in your tent, it might have been condensation because one of those nights was mad condensation-y, and it
yeah.
might have been that inside the
I just
unit.
admit it could have been that. It could have been dust. It could have been
Mm,
because obviously I mean I DJ'd the night before and it was fine. So yeah, it could have been anything, but we didn't panic. I legged it across the stage, got my USB, plugged it into the CDJs, and got going again.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it was a bit going because it is a really fun mix, which is play the first half of Psychosocial, you loop the bridge, and then you bring in Darude Sandstorm, and it's just I love it. It's one of my favorite mixes to do. Um, and yeah, it's just a bit gutted. If you want to hear it, it is on the recording on Mixcloud because I had to re-record it all. But yeah, I was gutted we didn't get to do that. But I think we collectively we handled it quite well.
yeah. Well,
Um,
this is the thing, like because I think it was really handy that there was two of us, so like I could continue, keeping the people entertained while you got on with it, and I knew that you'd figure out some way of getting around it, so I wasn't even like you know bothered about that. Like I knew that you could handle it, so it's just like, hey guys, you know,
I think that's like for any new DJs listening out there, like one of the things that I'd always recommend is doing, if you've got your own equipment, do loads and loads of practice on it at home. Because then if anything breaks or you have a glitch or something, you learn how to fix it not in a pressurized environment when you're at a gig.
mm-hmm.
And like even like 2, 3 years ago, I would have just like had a panic attack. Like I would have dealt with it and I would have been shaken up by that happening. And I think I was so not bothered. It was almost weird. Like I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'll go get my USB. I'll plug that in, and we'll just reset it and see if it works again. It'll be fine." Um, and yeah, and then it was fine. And I
Yeah,
just got straight back into what was basically the last half hour. Um,
I think the takeaway here is know how your equipment works, always
yes,
have a backup.
always have a backup. Yeah. And that's like I so rarely DJ on USBs, but I will always have USBs with some songs on them with me, just in case like if my
Just in
laptop
case.
just decides to break in that moment, you never know. So
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, basically what that mix got botched and I ended up just smashing on the Electric Callboy cover of Every Time We Touch, which was where it was supposed to go anyway, but we did that. We reset the laptop, and then I played a mix for my friend Koda, who was camped with us at um, ArcTanGent this year, which is. But I mean, they always just bother me to play it every time they see me. Have you played the Pretender mix? Have you played the Pretender? It's the Pretender by Foo Fighters, but a remix by Infected Mushrooms, and then I drop in
is it
Last
infected
Resort.
mushroom? I didn't realise that.
Yes, Infected Mushroom.
Do you know what? Infected mushroom was one of the bands that I was just like, oh, I wonder if I can get away with this. Obviously, I can. Next
Obviously, you
year.
can next year. I want to say someone requested it in the group, and I was like, I'll play some because I was going to do the pretender version. But anyway, yeah, and yeah, just before the bridge, you just drop in the opening line of Last Resort. It's just great. I love it. It's just such a silly little. I love mixes where I can do something halfway through a song that lets people know what's coming next, and then they still get the rest of the song. Like they'll, another example is if I play Everywhere I Go, I can loop the intro break stuff in the middle bit over the top,
Mhm.
and it just lets people know, okay, well, I've still got half this song to go. I'm going to go enjoy it, but I know what's on the other side, and it builds the anticipation. So, yeah, I think that's one of my strengths, something I really love to do. Um,
Mhm.
and this version of Last Resort was mashed up with one of the new Pendulum tracks as well, because obviously it's me. Like, I can't just play a normal song, God forbid.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then I did um, what was basically the end to a lot of my festival sets this year, which is Bring Me to Life, and then a Holy Roller remix. Um,
Mm.
but we weren't, by that point, it was sort of like 20 minutes out, and I was like, oh, well, I'm not ready to play my last song, which I like to play. So we got to fill it a bit, and I did a remix of. This was one of my favorite parts of the set because I played the remix of Nine Inch Nails Closer, which I know you really like. And then you came and looked over my shoulder while I was mixing and saw that I was mixing the chemist in. your face was like, I was like, yeah, you're gonna enjoy this, Rem.
Yeah.
um, and yeah, I love the chemists. Somebody told me, I don't actually know if I can say this on if we're putting this online, but I don't care.
You can edit it out.
Somebody told me they're coming back. I won't disclose who or where, but somebody told me the
Who's
chemist.
chemist?
Yeah, somebody at ArcTanGent backstage told me that. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's true. I do not quote me on that, and I don't want to get you overexcited, but that was what I was told.
Well, here's hoping. Here's hoping, because that would be amazing.
Chemists, if you're watching this and you need someone to support you, can book me. I won't let you down. I might. Um, but yeah, did that. Did a silly remix of Such Small Hands by La Dispute, which you said you were shocked that less people didn't get like down for it.
Yeah, maybe it was in the wrong place in the set, but like,
Yeah, I
I
did. I
liked
had
it.
played it the night before and it got a better reaction, I think. I think I was at
Mm.
that point in the night, I was a couple of tequilas in and like, oh shit, I need to fill out what I'm doing so before I get to the end. Which like yeah, did a remix of FCP remix, and
That
then
was so good.
it's not mine. I cannot take credit. It's somewhere
Brilliant.
from the depths of SoundCloud, and I love it so much. Um, and I always play Art Tangent. Um, and I played it last year, and loads of people be like, "You have to play this again next year." So I did it in both sets. And then I did Satellites of Untouched, which is like
Mm.
my set closer for the summer that I made. It didn't finish this set, but yeah, I love that. I fucking love that mashup. It's one of my best.
Well,
Like,
that's what we finished download with, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah, like that's what it was made for, was finishing download. But I also finished the night before on that and one of my tree sets on it as well because I just, yeah, it's just euphoric. I love it. Like, it's one of those that I can't really remember how I made it. It just sort of happened, and it's really good. And I'd love to take like loads of credit and be like, I remember exactly what my idea thought process was for this. Was probably I heard it in a dream and was like half asleep one evening and went, "Oh, this might work," and ended up with it. So yeah, and then it was like played that and I was like, oh, I've got 8 minutes left. What do I want to play? And then just for some reason, I don't really understand why I played So What by Pink, but I did. Um, I'm looking back at the set now, I'm like, that was a bit of a vibe change. Like,
Was a little bit of a change, but
was
people
it?
went for it.
I was
So
like, I've got two songs left. I want to do like a silly, fun one, and then a sing along at the end. But one of the things with the silent disco is obviously you've got the other channel going, so I always go and ask whoever's on the other channel what their last song's going to be. And he was like, "Oh, I'm going to play Don't Stop Me Now by Queen," and I was like, "Well,
yeah,
there's no point even trying to compete with that in terms of like a cheesy sing along banger." So I went for Johnny Sniper by Shikari, which like is a very personal song to me, and Shikari fans will like. I was like, I know who my crowd are. My crowd are into Shikari fans. I'm gonna play to them for the last song.
yeah. It
But
was such a resounding success, though.
yeah, I'm really. I was one of our. I think one of the most successful sets we've done together, the two of
Yeah.
us.
Oh,
We've done,
100%.
we've done
100%.
a few, but yeah, that was. I think we had such a nice balance, like.
I think there was good
uh,
synergy there, wasn't there?
Synergy. And I think that's something that,
Mm.
like, um, again, if you're an upcoming DJ and you want to learn more about these things and you want to do festivals, one of, I think, my strengths, especially when I do festivals and silent discos, is communicating with the other DJs, whether that's the DJ that's on
Mm.
before you or the DJ that's on the other channel or whatever. Like having like, when we went on and you were up against Damo, Damo knew exactly what you were doing, and I knew what Damo was going to be doing. And the same with Art Scare that was on afterwards. Like I know them, and I was like, oh, I know what you're going to play. I went over and had a chat and double checked during your set. Do those little things can really like help you help you stand out, but also helps the customers or the punters or whatever have a better time.
Yeah.
Um, It's something that like I work really hard on at Trees because there's four DJ channels on at the same time. So like you don't all want to be playing the same songs. And so just having conversations and being like, oh well what sort of vibe are you thinking? You know, it makes such a big difference because like you go out and you're all playing the same songs, no one wins. Nobody wins because
Yeah.
you know
Exactly.
yeah. So like yeah, I think
I think that's
that's
probably, sorry.
there you go.
I was going to say, I think that's probably good practice in any situation when you're DJing with other people is to kind of be like, hey, what are you going to be playing? And make sure you're not like, just playing all the stuff that they were going to play, or like, if that is the case, then maybe you can like, oh, could you save such and such for me because I've got a great mix that I want to do, or make sure that it's kind of same but different, keeping it consistent. If you're doing, maybe if you're sharing one room together, like it's
Yeah,
always good to kind of be on the same page. Or if you're doing two separate areas, make sure like, oh well, here's the kind of blurred line between these two things. So if you don't go any heavier than X and I won't go any lighter than Y, then hopefully everything will stay separate.
yeah, yeah. I think it really helped me having another set at ArcTanGent where I could just like do my own thing, and then it meant that when it got down to the Saturday, I could let you do your own thing and work around it.
I appreciate that. Like that was, I was very fortunate to have you like take me to my first Dark Tangent, so that like, and just tell me like completely what I needed to know, arm me with all the information I needed, and then you were able to like they work around me for my set, so that I was able to just like do what I really wanted to do and bring what I really wanted to to portray. So yeah, thank you for that.
I do my best, but I feel it's something that I think that we need more of anyway. Like
Mm,
it's all well and good, like it's all well and good being a DJ and being like, oh, this is me and this is what I do, and like being uncompromising with that. But there's also, you know, community, and you've got to think about the punters, you've got to think about everybody, all boats are lifted by a rising tide, whatever it is. all that nonsense. Like everyone's having a great time, even if you're working around something or filling a gap. Something I do a lot of trees as well, like fill a gap where I'm like, oh, I know these guys are
Oh,
doing this, these guys are doing
you're
something
frozen,
else.
babe.
Oh no,
Oh, I think you might be back.
I'm back. Um,
Yes.
yeah,
So
I
I
think
like I'm sure that was great for the recording, but I didn't hear anything of what you just said.
I was just saying that I think that a lot of what I do with trees is filling a gap in my own way. Like,
Mm,
I'll know like pressure are on, and they'll do in. I know what they'll play. And the DJs are on one channel, I know what they're gonna play, and like Damo or John is on the other channel, I know what they're gonna play, and it means that I look at what they're doing and I go, okay, well I can just do everything else and do it in my own creative way, and I love it as well because it takes the pressure off playing like the absolute bangers. Like when you're in a club environment and you're the only DJ, you can be a little bit like, oh, I need to keep the dance floor going. I need to keep playing hits. I need to keep playing sing-alongs. Then yeah, Sun Disco, I love it because you can just take risks because like they might switch channel, but like it's not they've not gone home. They can come back, you
yeah,
know?
they're still there. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Um, you got any final thoughts?
I would say that you to recap, be prepared, but also be willing to switch up your idea if a better solution presents itself. Communicate with your other DJs. Don't be afraid to take risks. Have a good time.
Have a bloody good time.
Have a good time.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, Remy, for joining me for this.
Thank you for having
If
me.
if you're watching this on my YouTube or Substack, you can like and subscribe, all that
Ooh,
nonsense. And I guess hopefully we'll do some more of these at some point.
that would be
Um,
nice.
yeah, I don't know when we're next going to DJ together and we can do this, but we'll do it.
Yeah, we
Awesome.
should. Oh, and you can follow us on.
Actually, they press play.
Yeah, actually, they're press play. If you want to follow me, I'm at Remy Melee. That's Remy, like the rat from Ratatouille, Melle.
Like the rat from Ratatouille. And I'm Luna Tunes, like Looney Tunes, but not. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, I hope we've helped you a little bit and gave you an insight into what we do.